to Saints Together Conversations in Leadership in Christian Higher Education. This is episode 5. My name is Jay McCurry, and I serve as the Provost and Chief Academic Officer at Randall University in Moore, Oklahoma. This podcast assists educators and leaders to grow in their leadership in Christian higher education through real conversations, practical tools, and faith-forward wisdom. Today, we're talking about something every Christian university leader feels in their bones right now, and that's enrollment with integrity. Because if we're honest, enrollment pressure can do strange things to good people. It can tempt us to oversell. It can tempt us to chase the wrong students. It can tempt us to make promises that we cannot keep. And over time, it can tempt us to treat students like numbers instead of image bearers. But Christian higher education is too important for that, and the students God sends to us are too valuable. So today I want to talk about how we recruit and enroll students without losing our soul. The moment that we're living in. Let's start with the world our families are living in. Pew Research found that only 22% of U.S. adults say a 4-year degree is worth the cost even if someone has to take out loans, and 29% say the cost is not worth it. That is a massive headwind for every private college in America, Christian or not. So when families ask hard questions about cost, outcomes, and value, they're not being difficult, they're being responsible. At the same time, we're recruiting in a spiritual climate that's complicated. Pew has shown the long decline in the United States Christian identification has slowed and may have leveled off, while religious switching still fuels growth in the unaffiliated. And then you've got Barna research that reports shifts in young adult church engagement. Some metrics show decline since 2020, while more recent tracking highlights increased attendance among young Christians compared to the pandemic lows. So what does all that mean in plain English? It means families are cautious about college. Students are hungry for meaning, but often skeptical of institutions. And we're going to recruit students well. We have to do it with truth, clarity, and trust. At Randall University, we're unapologetic about our mission. We're not trying to be everything to everyone. We're building something Christ-centered for the student who wants to grow spiritually, academically, and vocationally. If you go to our website, the admissions pathway is straightforward. Apply online, connect with our recruitment office, ask questions, schedule a visit. We're accessible, and we want people to talk to real humans. And when students look at graduate programs, we're clear about expectations. Application, transcript, goals statement, and faith-related documents like a biblical foundation statement and validation of church relationships. That signals something important. We're not selling a generic degree. We're forming leaders in a Christian context. Integrity begins right there. They're not hiding the ball. If a student is looking for a campus where faith is a side dish, we should bless them and help them find the right fit. But if a student is looking for a place where faith and learning walk together, now we're having the right conversation. Enrollment with integrity means that we stop marketing and we start shepherding. Let me say this plainly. Recruitment is ministry, not in a cheesy way, but in a real way. Because enrollment with integrity means we tell the truth about cost, we tell the truth about expectations, we tell the truth about workload, we tell the truth about outcomes, we tell the truth about student life, and we tell the truth about who will thrive here. Families can smell spin from a mile away, and students can too. Pew's research on college value is telling us that skepticism is not theoretical, it's mainstream. So integrity means we do the opposite of spin. We say, here's what we are, here's what we're not, here's what success looks like here. Let me give you 3 practical commitments, things that you can build into your admissions culture starting this week. Number 1, clarity over cleverness. Don't let your website, your view book, or your tour try to be cute. Be clear. Clarity means the student knows what the degree path looks like, what the student life expectations are, what the spiritual life rhythm is, and who to contact when they have questions. Randall's future students and admissions pages are direct about how to apply and how to reach the recruitment office. That's not flashy, but it's honest, and honesty builds confidence. When you lead with clarity, you recruit the right students and you reduce melt, frustration, and transfers later on. Number two, fit over volume. You can chase volume and still lose because students who aren't a good fit will struggle. They'll struggle academically, spiritually, and socially, and they're more likely to stop out. Integrity means we don't just ask, can we get them? We ask, can we serve them well? And fit doesn't just mean perfect church kid. It means a student who is open to growth, open to community, and open to the mission. In a world of mission drift, this is where the battle is fought, quietly, one student at a time. And number three, value that is real, not imagined. The value conversation is not going away. Pew's numbers tell us many Americans now see college as worth it only without loans or not worth it. So integrity means we talk value in a way that's measurable and meaningful. Career readiness, grad school preparation, spiritual formation, leadership development, mentoring, internship, service learning, and community. If we're going to talk outcomes, we'd better back it up with real pathways and real support. What I tell my admissions team and campus leaders, this is a line that I use. We don't recruit students to save the institution. We recruit students to serve the calling of God in their lives. And that changes the posture. It moves you from desperation to stewardship. And it helps you remember something simple. Enrollment is important, but integrity is a non-negotiable. A word to pastors and church leaders listening. Let me speak to pastors for a moment. You have students in your church who are trying to make decisions that will shape the next 40 years of their lives. They need more than a scholarship number. They need counsel. They need someone to look them in the eye and say, here's what you're gifted at. Here's where you need to grow. Here's how to choose a school that will strengthen your family instead of erode it. If we're going to build Christian higher education with integrity, we need churches and universities pulling in the same direction. So here's the question I leave you with. Are we recruiting in a way that we'd be proud to explain to Jesus? Because one day we'll answer for how we treated students, not as tuition, not as head count, but as people. And when we recruit with integrity, we don't just fill seats, we build trust, we protect the mission, and we honor the Lord. Until next week, be the leader that you would follow. My name is Jay McCurry, and this is Saints Together.